Hello, 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 and welcome back to Now with Nita. So today I'm going to show you guys how I make my salmon croquettes. I'm using this pop top can of salmon from Costco. It usually comes in like a 6 pack, I think, but it doesn't have all the skin and bones in it. And then I'm also going to use the double Q salmon. I got that from like Walmart or Kroger. It's one of the two. And that actually has a skin and bones in it. So I'm going to have to actually get rid of that fleshy part, the brown and black fleshy part. Well, skin and bones, and the bones also. And so, yeah, I like to mix them together. Just I wanted to make a little bit, and I'm so used to feeding the army, but yeah, I just wanted to make a little bit for this Monday. I wanted salmon croquettes and spaghetti, but the kids had another idea. They actually wanted like bow tie pasta, and then somebody wanted ravioli. But look how I'm sliding the bones out. You slide those bones out, and so you got the one like the connected bones in the middle, and then you got the little bitty fine bones. So you try to get all the bones out, and what you can't get out, you can crush them up because you can actually eat the bones. Um, you just have to be really careful, and you really don't want to eat the bones. Like nobody wants bones in their fish. But yeah, so I got it all crumbled up, and you can tell the difference between the one that came in the double Q and the Costco one, the one that came without the skin and bones. So I'm just mushing it up together, just trying to get it combined really well together. And once I do this, I'm gonna add an egg to it, and also some. I'm gonna add an egg and also some panko breadcrumbs. I put in the panko breadcrumbs this time, but normally I'd like to add like some butter crackers, like some Ritz crackers or something like that. There go the panko breadcrumbs. But yeah, some Ritz crackers or butter crackers, and but my kids, they are always like, let's put some panko breadcrumbs in it. So I figure I'm just trying to bind it, and it would be fine. And that's just the first thing I grab because I can't blame it on the kids. So now I'm going to grab this Old Bay seasoning. And this is the best thing when you're cooking any kind of fish. Just Old Bay, just to give it that perfect flavor. But yeah, so get a kiss with the Old Bay. And then the next thing I think I'm going to grab is my black pepper. So I threw a little black pepper in there, and that's it, just for seasoning this part. And then the next part is going to be getting my veggies together. So I'm going to grab my pan, and in my pan, I'm going to put in a little bit of avocado oil. And also, when I looked in the freezer, all I had was these red onions. And then I had red, orange, and yellow peppers. Normally, I would just put in green peppers and sweet onions, but I didn't have any of that on hand, so I used what I had because I'm shopping my kitchen. There goes the avocado oil. I actually poured just a little too much avocado oil in there. I didn't notice it in the beginning. Oh, yeah, too many swirls for just that little bit of peppers and onions. I don't know what I was thinking. But yeah, so I'm heating up the veggies in the pan. I want them to still have a little bite to them, but I don't want them to be raw. So just kind of sweat them out in the pan a little bit. And then they'll be ready to add to the salmon mixture. So it's taking me a little while to get these onions and peppers in this pan. But yeah, that's pretty much what I'm going to do. So these veggies, they cook up really quick. It only takes like 2 to 3 minutes to saute them in the pan. So yeah, just like I said, just sweat them out a little bit and let them get just a little soft. You don't want to cook them all the way through because you don't want mushy vegetables in your salmon croquettes. But yeah, this is how I cook my salmon croquettes, and I love them this way. Yes, the salmon croquettes. Now I'm just sauteing the veggies, and I'm gonna throw in a little bit of my little seasoning mix to just season every step. So this, I'm putting this in, and I don't know if you watched the video with my seasoning mix in it, but it's a little bit of everything in there. Just the stuff that we like, the flavors that we like. And yeah, so let this saute a little bit on the stove, a little bit more black pepper. And we're just gonna saute it up until, and then I'm gonna set it aside so I can turn the stove off. I'm gonna set it aside so it can cool off a little bit.
While I mix
Now
up
back
the
to my
salmon.
croquette mixture. Now I'm just mixing the mixture together really good to make sure all the seasonings are distributed and the two different cans of salmon are mixed up really well. So I'm just mixing and mixing and mixing. Then I'm going to smash it down a little bit just to see how it looks. See? Looks good to me. Now I'm going to add in my veggies. They should have cooled off by now. Oh. Nope. I'm putting the stuff in the pan. Well, I'm just showing you the stuff that I'm going to put in the little Tupperware container that I'm going to batter the croquettes with. But I got to get these veggies in this mix. So let me grab them now. All right. I put a little bit too much oil in here. So I'm trying to make sure I don't get that oil in my mixture. You see all those seasonings left in that pan? I wish I had something else to cook in there, but I did not. Maybe I should have sauteed the fish in there instead of putting the fish in the grease, trying to deep fry it, because that fish came out a little bit crispy. But yeah, you see that oil at the bottom? I'm trying not to get that oil in there. Now I'm going to mix the veggies up really good into my croquette mixture. And I guess I must have got tired of getting my hands dirty, so I said, let me just use the spoon and stir it up like that. But yeah, this is pretty simple. And if I could do it, anybody can. Because a lot of times I don't like going through all these steps. But sometimes when you have a taste for something, you just got to have it. You just got to get in the kitchen and do what you got to do. So it's all mixed up. I got the Andes seasoning, fish seasoning. And I didn't have any spicy Andes, so I just must have had the yellow Andes fish batter, and then the crispy Louisiana batter. And that's just to make sure it's crispy on the outside. But yeah, so I mix those two together. Normally I get a fork and mix it together, but that's okay. So then I'm going to pat out these patties. I'm saying patties, but we always call them salmon croquettes, but I've heard other people say they make salmon patties. And somebody said they make tuna patties. I've never made them with tuna before, but I really love it with salmon. I don't even know if my kids eat tuna. I mean, I know they don't eat tuna. I don't know if they would eat the tuna. So I'm just using the spoon to measure them out so they will all be about the same size. And some people make them into like football shapes. I've always made them into like the little patty, like you would be making a hamburger patty. Yeah, I've always made them like that. And you have to be really careful when you're flipping them over. That's why I have the fork, because they will break apart. One of them broke apart, and that was like the sample piece that you're gonna see later on in the end. And my special guest, she had to make sure that she came in to have a taste test, because she knows we always have to taste our food. But yeah, let's just get on with the video. Just making the patties out. So I'm just going to continue to pat out these croquettes and get them ready to get fried. And I had to do a voiceover for this video because my kids are watching something. I don't know if it's a Disney movie or a Pixar movie. They're watching something in the background. So they're a little rowdy, as well as I don't want to get a copyright for the video playing in the background. So that's why I'm doing the voiceover. Yay! I'm down to the last patty. And then I'm gonna take a little, well, almost. Now I'm down to the last patty. But then I'm gonna take a little bit of the mixture because they still are pretty wet. I don't think I've poured out enough of that juice from those cans. But because they're still pretty wet, I'm gonna take a little bit more of my batter, the little Andes and the crispy Louisiana fish fry, and I'm gonna put it on top of the other patties to kind of dry them out a little bit. And yeah, these things were so delicious. I ate like two
So I guess people
sampling
that
them, and
had
then
corona can have immunity
well,
for
I ate
yours
one and
then
a
too,
half
huh?
sampling them because I gave the other half to my little pudding. She snuck in there to get her some while her sisters weren't watching, and my grandson, he didn't like the salmon patties, but everybody else did. Okay, so I got out my wok. It's cast on the inside, and I don't know what metal's on the outside, but I like to deep fry in here because it's not nonstick. Like if I wanted to make hibachi at home, I couldn't make hibachi in this wok. I don't know what they were
I
thinking
think
when
my
they
grease
created
is
this
hot
thing.
enough.
But
No,
they
it's
must have
not.
been thinking about me because
It
I
looks
deep
like it's
fry
bubbling, but
everything
it
in
ain't really
here.
bubbling.
And it's just like the perfect cleanup for me. I'm testing
The
the
bottom of the spoon's
spoon
really supposed to be.
because the if your
Or
grease
you
is
can
hot enough,
also
if you put a wooden spoon in there,
take a little
it'll
bit of your
bubble up
flour.
around the wood. But it wasn't hot enough. Now I'm testing it with some flour because you can always drop
It's
like
not
a
hot
little bit
enough
of
yet, though.
flour in there also. And if the flour starts to
15
fry,
minutes
then
for
you
the
know it's hot. But that didn't happen.
Deja made some
And these
delicious
are the
cornbread. See the box?
cornbread muffins that my daughter just mixed up for me. We're finally
Can I see the box?
trying this Krusteaz brand cornbread,
We
and I
finally
have to
trying
say
this
it's pretty
Krusteaz
good.
honey cornbread. We didn't put no
I
sugar
was
in
like,
here. This
this
stuff better
better
be
be
sweet.
sweet.
No, I'm just
And my
playing.
daughter was like, it is sweet because it got a lot of sugar in it because she looked
You
at the
looked at
sugar
the sugar
content on the
content
back.
on
I
it.
don't know what the sugar content is supposed to be for
Okay.
anything.
My
I just
grease is
know I
hot.
wanted to taste
Let's go on and drop one of
sweet and
these.
yummy. So let's drop these patties in here and see what they do. It seemed like the grease wasn't hot enough, but they are sizzling, and you'll see that in
It's
just a
bubbling,
second.
baby.
Watch.
If Jack not a mentor, she's really smaller than that. Oh shoot, it fell apart. It's bubbling.
So as you can hear, my grease is really crackling back there, and yeah, so it's cooking pretty good because I'm able to flip them over and they're not falling all apart. They're not crumbling. So I think my assembly was pretty good. My assembly method was pretty good. But like I said, I would prefer to have like butter crackers instead of putting the panko breadcrumbs in there. I don't know. One of my daughters, she's obsessed with panko breadcrumbs and she wants to put that in everything. Come on, let's use panko breadcrumbs. And I keep telling her, like, those things, they burn when you're trying to like fry something. Panko is not like the best thing. Like oven fried, yes, but she never wants anything oven fried. But yeah, these salmon croquettes are looking good. And yeah, I'm about to take them out and see what's going on in just a second. I'm just turning them and checking them and trying to take out my veggies that are coming out of the croquettes so they won't be burning my grease all up. It looks delicious. Well, it looks good and it was delicious because we ate these in a day.
Boo. Here is the tilapia. Just fire down some. Right, burn up my grease. Also help me.
There we go. Ooh, the cornbread look golden brown. Time to come out. I ain't crazy about this fish. I should have just let this cook in the oven. This is this Parmesan crusted tilapia. It probably would have been better in the oven. Which, it just got oven and oven directions. It don't got no deep fry directions on her.